Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so freaking excited because today is a day that I felt like may never come, and that is the official end of my 6-month gut healing program. I literally cannot believe that the day has arrived, and I'm so excited to share with you my health update and where I am now, where I was at the beginning of the program, where I thought I'd be at this point, and where I plan to go from here. So before we get started, I just want to give you a little recap. I did a whole video on my entire health story, which I will link below, but just a little summary. I have Crohn's disease and some other autoimmune issues that I have been dealing with for 16 years. I tried every single thing under the sun when it comes to medications and supplements and alternative doctors and alternative modalities, regular like allopathic ones as well. And I finally came to this program, in October after some months of research, and it is April now, so it's been 6 months. So before I started this program, I was really sick, and I had been for a very long time. And I should also mention that I will be talking about poop in this video, so if that grosses you out or it's weird to you, you may not want to watch this video because it is basically completely about digestive issues. But when I started, I was having diarrhea like 5 to 10 times a day, sometimes more than that.
For some reason, I just felt like I needed to get real on here and say that having Crohn's disease sometimes really freaking sucks, and it feels like hell. And so to any of you with autoimmune diseases, I feel ya. And feeling sick is not a fun feeling for me. I like to feel strong, I like to feel energetic, and to be laid up and honestly in the bathroom all day long is rough.
I dealt with insomnia, with hormonal imbalances. I had acne all over my face. I was extremely bloated every single night, like looked 6 months pregnant at the end of the night, every night. And I was dealing with some anxiety and a little bit of depression as well. So yeah, it was a lot. And at that point, I could not leave my house for more than about an hour at a time, because if I didn't know if there was going to be a bathroom where I was going, and really who wants to have to go have emergency diarrhea in a public restroom, I was just completely terrified of leaving. There was one time where I left the house to go on a kayaking adventure for the afternoon, and I had to pull over my kayak on the side of the river and have diarrhea in the woods with all of my friends floating down the river, and it was just absolutely humiliating. And then there was another time where I went on a road trip, like an 8-hour road trip down to the beach, and I had to stop probably every hour. My poor sister and husband were so sweet and did not make me feel bad about it at all when we would stop for sometimes like 20-30 minutes for me to go to the bathroom. It was really bad. So that's what I came into this program with. So like I said, I started this program in October, and I didn't really know what I was in for. I mean, I knew that it was going to be really restrictive, and it was going to test my ability to commit to something and to stick through for the long haul and to go through hard stuff. But it was, well, in some ways it was easier, in some ways it was much harder than I thought. I went through this program with a company called Cultured Wellness out of Australia, who are absolutely amazing people on the forefront of gut healing and research. And basically what the program includes is, first and foremost, a very restrictive, to be completely honest, diet that included like no grains, no dairy except butter, no fruit unless fermented, no nuts, no seeds, no nightshades, no sugar, definitely no sugar. And I'm sure there's a few other things that I'm not remembering, but needless to say, it was very intense. It is based on a ketogenic diet, and so that was definitely a transition. It also includes lots of herbal cleanses based specifically on my gut test results. So before we started the program, I did some really comprehensive gut testing that told me exactly the makeup of my gut between bacteria and viruses and parasites, different overgrowths. And so the cleanses that I did during this program were based specifically on my results. My husband, Sean, did it with me, and his cleanses were different based on his results. Then on top of all that, we were also using a lot of detox tools to help us through those intense cleanses, such as bentonite clay, coffee enemas, and things like that. So before starting this program, I had an idea of what I thought I'd be at the end of the program. And I thought that I would be well on my way to healing, and I thought that my diet would be drastically different from when I started the diet, that I'd be eating lots more things, that the restrictive part of the diet would generally be over and I'd be reintroducing foods, I would be done with all of my cleanses, and that I would be feeling amazing. When I first started this program, it was basically hell. I was crying all the time, I was extremely nauseous, I was having diarrhea now like 10 to 15 times a day, waking up during the night. I'm on day 6 today, and in the middle of full-on detox. It has honestly been really rough, dealing with a few things. So I just got back in bed to take a nap because I'm so tired, and the nausea is the number one thing that's just so frustrating whenever I try to eat, having to like force my food down. I've also been having tons of cravings for like bread and cheese and fruit and all the things that I can't have, and my throat's been sore for a couple of days, and then of course I'm still having diarrhea, which is to be expected. This was also pre-holiday season in like November and December, and so I was extremely stressed. I had tons of travel that I was trying to do with this new diet. I was cooking literally every single meal for the first time in a very, very long time, and that was really, really overwhelming to balance my life with the constant cooking and cleaning. All right, man, this program is no joke. I have made all the fermented things today: chicken pate, bone broth, coffee enemas, lunch. I'm about to make dinner. I did 2 coffee enemas earlier, and yesterday evening I also made chicken soup for the week, which is what we eat for breakfast, and I made cooked and cooled rice for the week, and I think I have to make chicken stock again tomorrow. It's like never ending. But that all changed around Thanksgiving when I did my first cleanse. That cleanse was a parasite cleanse, and after I was finished with that cleanse, I was like a different person. It was absolutely remarkable to me how much my diarrhea decreased and all of my other symptoms. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like all of a sudden I was completely better, but it was a huge, huge leap forward. I was also having, in the beginning of the program, this crazy rash all over my neck and chest, down my spine, all over my face that would come up here and there. With the exception of continuing to lose weight and have diarrhea, I wasn't really having many symptoms until my skin decided that it was gonna just freak out. So it's starting up on my face, and then it moves all the way down to my neck and actually down all the way to my chest. And the craziest part is it's all down my spine, like my entire spine. I'm gonna show you a picture in the next slide. And I've also had some really crazy respiratory stuff. I blew my nose the other day and black stuff came out. I mean, this cleanse is no joke. It's really, really crazy. After I did the parasite cleanse, maybe it was after my next cleanse, that rash never came back. And it was a huge relief. I could see that the program was actually starting to work. And that went a long way in terms of encouragement, because when you're feeling like crap, it's really hard to stay motivated to continue on a program. And so I needed that win, and I was so grateful that I got that pretty early on. So the next 3 to 6 months were really up and down. It felt like I was on a roller coaster. Now I do feel like I was gradually getting better, but every time I was on a cleanse, it would kind of take me out. I wouldn't be able to go to the gym. I would just be exhausted, lots and lots of emotions coming up, usually some diarrhea or other bowel issues. And those times were really hard, but in between the cleanses, I felt really good, and I could tell that each time my body was getting stronger and stronger. So it kept me going when it was tough. And then I would say the last couple of months, the cooking aspect of everything was honestly like a non-issue. I have become so used to cooking every single day that it's really not that big of an issue. Now, obviously, I would love to be able to eat out sometimes, but it's much, much easier than it was in the beginning. The last couple of months too, I started doing a lot of mindset work, a lot of reading books about visualization, mentalization, meditation, and really starting to change my perception of what is going on, which to me was the biggest game changer I think I've ever had in my health, was this mindset shift. And I'll talk about that in another video, but honestly, I can't say enough good things about changing your mindset and really embracing the future that you want to manifest. So where am I now at the end of this program? Well, I think I am probably about 70% better in terms of my digestion, which is like, yay! I feel like I need an applause for that. I mean, that is huge, that in 6 months, I have improved 70%. My diarrhea is practically non-existent unless I'm on a cleanse, and my bloating is much better. My acne has completely gone away from my neck and my face. I had it really bad on my neck. That's totally gone. I still have insomnia, and I'm dealing with some night sweats right now as my body is really cleansing some stuff out. But besides that, I would say I'm feeling really good. I definitely have more energy most days, again, unless I'm on a cleanse. I thought when I finished this program that I wouldn't have any more real work to do, and I could just start the healing and sealing phase and start reintroducing food slowly. So I knew that I wouldn't be off the diet, but I thought that I would be able to be starting new things. The reality is I still have a lot of work to do. My coach told me, I actually had a consult with her last night. She's like, we don't want to keep you at 70%. You know, you want to get to 100. So to get to 100, there's some final work that needs to be done. So I will be doing some more cleanses, and I probably won't be changing up the diet much at all until I finish with the vast majority of those cleanses, at which time I will then start to reintroduce foods again and test things out. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. The day when I can have food out at someone else's house or out at a restaurant will be amazing. Really, it's not so much about eating bad foods, it's just that I want to be able to eat like raw fruits and vegetables. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning, but I am not able to have anything raw at this point. So just to be able to have some like raw stuff, some more nuts and seeds, some unfermented avocado, for example, just things to make it easy so that when I'm out and about that I can enjoy foods with my friends and family. So that's where I'm going with this. And I would say overall, I am just beyond grateful for this program. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't find this program. I don't even want to think about it. I'd probably be still housebound. I mean, like I was all last year, just so sick and not able to live a life. And so even though, yes, this has been a pretty extreme diet, it has been hard. I'm not gonna lie and say that it was easy to make this change. It took a lot of willpower. It took making that decision every single day that I was going to do this no matter what and committing 100%. I think the hardest thing to do is to stick to a program when you're only committed 99%. It's like that 1% makes you start having all of these excuses for things that you can go out and eat, and then before you know it, you spiral back into old habits. And when you're dealing with chronic illness, I mean, I hate this in a way, but sometimes you have to be really rigid for a time so that you can eventually live more free. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I am going to get to 100%, and that is something that I wasn't sure that I would ever believe about my health. And I am so optimistic for the future. Of course, I'll be updating you guys as I go along. This is definitely not the last health update video. So make sure to hit the subscribe button below, because I will be posting a video every Friday, and it centers around health, wellness, and particularly what's interesting to me right now is about the inner mindset, fulfillment, and gratitude, joy, things like that, which is so integral to the path of healing. So I hope you'll join me on my journey, and I will see you guys next week.